So I want to find out that how did you ended up studying logical operation? Was that your first business?
That was my first business, yeah. With my best friend, a few college professors, and it was just a discussion about how do we, we had something good, we knew we had it good, and then how do we get to the next place? And for me, it was my way of balancing risk. My entrepreneurial was, that's the it factor. It somehow felt it was in my blood, and I was working at the time for Kodak, at the time, great, big, at that point part of the Dow, and having a good time and learning a lot, but I didn't get that fulfillment. I wanted to kind of be in business for myself. So I was willing to take a little bit of risk. And sometimes you win and sometimes you don't. And I've had successes and I've had failures. But on the whole, there have been more successes than failures. But I've learned from every one of them. And that was really it. It's hard to, for me it was just the idea of I wanted to have more, I wanted a personal investment. I guess for me it was about being invested in what I was doing and know that I could have some control over it too.
Why do you think your companies, all these companies that you have built, became successful? Or why do you think logical operation became successful?
I'm one of the lucky few, I think, that has had a chance to have a vocation or work that's also an avocation. I love what I do. And that makes it easier. And I can't think of any other way of saying that. And some of the people I know that have been the most successful, if you look at, just in the tech space, you look at, Steve Jobs, or you look at Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, and then you go into another industry like fashion, and you look at, Calvin Klein and Michael Kors, picking some. These are people, when you hear them talk, they're passionate. They're absolutely passionate. It may not be your passion, but it comes through that they love what they're doing, and to me that makes job much easier. So the advice I give to people is, to the extent that you can have a vocation and avocation merge, your probability of success automatically goes up because you're going to do the things that you perceive to be right, and often they are. And the trouble is when you are going through the motions or when your job is not something that you take with you. I think about it all the time, I'll admit it. It can be disruptive sometimes, but I'm always thinking about how do we do the next thing, how do we do something better, how do we provide products, services that are better for people. And if you can integrate that into your life, you're going to be successful. Again, it's, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but for me, I would say if it's not something you can be passionate about, go find something else. You got to have something you're passionate about, but try and find a vocation and avocation that match.